I feel like this is a long overdue middleweight title shot because your name has been in and about in the mix, and obviously you lost his #1 contenders match to Chael Sonnen.
Sure.
Do you think this is your long-awaited shot of middleweight glory? Or obviously it's not for a belt.
I mean, listen, I've wanted that for a long time, but it's nobody's fault but my own. Now, of course, there was mitigating circumstances with TRT, things like that. But the fact is, I lost some #1 contender matchups, and what are you going to do? I lost those fights. You dust yourself off, and you try and get back at it. And the fact that I've built myself to #1 contender status, not once, but a lot of people do that once. Well, not a lot of people. Some people may do that once, and then after that, they dwindle off. They'll fight on the prelims for the rest of their career. I've done that 3 times. This will be the 4th time. I think that's a testament to my character, my fighting spirit, and my will to never give up.
And do you think that a convincing win over Silva will give you that long-awaited title shot?
I should say so. I mean, there's only Chris Weidman that's defeated Anderson Silva. I'll be the second. I've been a perennial top 10 contender. People know who I am. I'll have won 4 out of my last 5, with the only loss coming to the current champion. So I think that puts me in a very good place to challenge for the title.
Do you think it's the best time in your career to fight Anderson Silva? Or maybe in the past was better time?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. If I was to sit here and say Anderson's the best version of himself, that would be a lie. He's not quite the same fighter. That said, he's still a very formidable opponent. It's still Anderson Silva. He's still trained hard. He's had a fight camp. I've pissed him off. He's going to come with a vengeance. So I'm still expecting a very, very tough fight, but I believe in myself.
You've wanted, like you said, this fight for a long time. So what's it like to actually face him here in London?
It's perfect. Fighting here in London against Anderson Silva for me is something I dreamed about forever. I really did. Fighting Anderson Silva for the title in London was my dream. Of course, the belt is on the line, but for me, the magnitude of the fight is still the same. It's still Anderson Silva. He's still a legend. It's in London. We just faced off in front of Tower Bridge. We're fighting at the sold-out O2 Arena. It doesn't get better than that. As a young man that quit work to become a professional fighter a long time ago, when being a professional fighter in this style of fighting was something of a pipe dream. To be here this day in front of all you great media, a sold-out crowd against Anderson Silva in the most iconic city in the world, it's the stuff of dreams.
So would you say this is the pinnacle of your career, or one of your?
The absolute pinnacle of my career, without a shadow of a doubt.
But what do you think about Silva? Obviously, he's been through a lot, obviously with the suspension, with the broken leg, and obviously with that knockout. So do you think he's going to go in there the same Anderson Silva?
I think it's almost impossible for him to go in there the same Anderson Silva. Anderson was performing on confidence for a long time. He had this aura of invincibility, and a lot of his opponents were frightened of him. They were scared. The fight was already done. The fight was actually just a formality. Everybody knew the outcome. He's not the same anymore. He really isn't. He doesn't fight with that same finesse and that same mystique and that confidence. And I'm not going to afford him that same confidence. I'm going to take the fight to him. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, right? I'm saying this. He's probably saying the exact opposite over there. So, we'll see what happens on Saturday night. But I don't think so.
And obviously, someone with such a unique style. How have you prepared for that style in the run-up to this camp?
I'm very lucky because a young man by the name of Jalen Turner lives quite close to me, and I just discovered him for this camp. He's 20 years old, and ever since he was an absolute baby, Anderson Silva was his idol. And this guy is 6'3". He's a black man with long, skinny legs. He looks just like Anderson. I'm telling you, spitting image of Anderson Silva. He moves like Anderson Silva. He's an undefeated professional fighter. This guy has an amazing future, but he's a better version of Anderson Silva. And I've been training with this guy 3 times a week, sparring hard. And believe you me, I've been having fantastic success against this young kid. No offense, Jalen, if you're watching. So I've had the perfect guy to emulate his style in training camp.
We saw that you had Lorenz Larkin there as well.
Yes.
What kind of role has he played?
Lorenz is just, me and Lorenz are friends. We spar quite a lot. The clip that you would have seen, Lorenz is very, very good control. That was the last sparring session before I flew to England. Actually, on the day that I left to fly here, Lorenz is very, very good control. So that was more about just getting the workout in and knowing it's a partner that I can trust, that I'm not going to get my ribs hurt or anything like that, So, yeah, but Lorenz is incredible. Lorenz is a great striker. He's very fast. So, yeah, he was a great help as well. Thank you, Lorenz Larkin.
Talking about PEDs, obviously you've been very vocal about Silva's suspension. Do you feel like that suspension then tainted his whole career and his legacy?
he still achieved the things he achieved. He still had those amazing knockouts. He was still the longest reigning title holder of all time. But there will forever be an asterisk above the name Anderson Silva.